I'm Skylar. Let's talk about books. Hello, today is February the 10th, which means that it is the first day of Contemporary-a-thon. If you did not know, I'm participating in Contemporary-a-thon this year. I will link my TBR video in the description. However, it is probably about to change a little bit. In my TBR video, I mentioned that I will be listening to the audiobook of Nerve, and I am right now. I started listening to it this morning. Obviously, I've been up for a little bit, and while I was getting ready and doing a quick workout, eating breakfast, blah, 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 I've been listening to Nerve, and I noticed that it's only 6 hours long, the audiobook is, which is not gonna work. Because I was hoping that this would be a long audiobook and would get me through lots of days, because I have a lot of activities like doing a workout and like cross-stitching, which I have a lot of to do this week, where I will not be able to have a book in my hands while I complete them. And I was really hoping to be able to have a fairly long audiobook that would get me through at least most of my cross-stitching. But like I said, it's 6 hours long and I listen on 1.5 speed, so that will not last me very long indeed. I'll probably finish it today or tomorrow. So now I'm looking for another contemporary audiobook that will fit within the challenges to add on to my TBR, and I'm turning to BookTube. So let's do a little research. I think I'm gonna start with A Clockwork Reader. I know she has an audiobook rec video, and I know she also reads, I feel like, a good amount of YA contemporary. So let's see if I can find anything from there. I mean, it doesn't have to be YA contemporary. Maybe she'll have some adult contemporary in here as well, which would be fine. I know I listened to the audiobook of After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid because of her, and I loved it. So hopefully we'll find something else like that. Also, Nerve is going very well so far. It's exactly what I wanted from it. It's exactly what it says on the tin. So I will check back in a minute if I have found an audiobook that I can use. Quick update, so I watched all of Clockwork Reader's video, and she recommends like 4 books. One of them I'm just not interested in. One of them I've already listened to because of her. One of them I could not get through the Libby app. That is one of the stipulations. I'm not going to be buying anything. I don't have... Why does everyone in this city have a loud car? Anyway, I don't have Audible, I don't have Scribd, I'm not about to be doing any of that. For this video, I'm not made of money. Who do I look like? A Vanderbilt? So I am only looking for things that I can immediately get on Libby, which means that they can't already be checked out. She did have one that To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which I've already seen the movie of and do want to read the books. I want to read the whole trilogy before the next movie comes out, because I know they're doing the sequel movie this year. But I really wanted to buddy read those with my parents, and I did not give them any warning or time to prepare to read them, so I'm considering that sort of a last resort. Instead, I'm going to check out Read by Zoe's audiobook recommendations video. I love her, and I think that she will probably also have a good amount of contemporaries in there. And then if that fails, Emma Books has 2 audiobook recommendation videos that I will check out. I wonder if Jesse the Reader might also have some. Basically, I'm just telling you what videos I'm checking out to try and find contemporary audiobooks to listen to. What else? So like I said, I'm listening to Nerve this morning. I plan to read one of my physical books while I'm on the train to work today. I work from 3:30 to 10, so obviously that takes up quite a bit of my day. I have to leave in about 2.5 hours. Is that right? No, I have to leave in about an hour and a half for work. My commute is pretty long. I always leave early to make sure I get there early so it gets longer, but that's good usually because that means I get to work early and I sit in the back and read for a little extra time. So I will pick up Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree on my commute today. Until then, I'm gonna keep listening to Nerve, which I'm very much enjoying. And then I'm trying to save my on my phone books for when I travel home to see my family this weekend, because I think it's easier for me to read on buses and in cars and stuff on my phone. I don't know why, it just is. And it also means that I won't have to take the physical library books home with me, because if some sort of disaster happened and I accidentally left them in Ohio, I would be mortified and so upset. And I would just feel terrible for leaving Chicago library books in Ohio. So I'm trying not to take either of those home with me. And that's my update. I will let you know after I watch these videos if I find a book. Okay, so this whole watching videos from my favorite booktubers thing has been a bust because either the books aren't contemporary, or I can't get them, or I've already read them. Everyone keeps recommending The Poet X, which I finished literally yesterday in the physical form, and I'm sure the audiobook's great, but I'm not about to read it again. So now we have moved on. I am just watching videos from my favorite booktubers about their favorite contemporaries, and I will just look them up on Libby and see if I can get an audiobook. And if this turns out to be a bust too, I'm just gonna start scrolling through my Goodreads TBR and finding random contemporary books and like looking them up. I'm just going to hunt until I find a second audiobook, because I need a second audiobook. I can't believe this is so difficult. I just feel like if I don't get a second audiobook, I'll spend a lot of my week not reading when I really wanted this week to. I wanted to finish so many contemporary books, and I feel like I had a really good plan for that, and the plan is falling apart because because Nerve is just so short. It's just, I mean, it's not even. It's a normal length book. It's just a really fast audiobook, and that's great, but I need like a long one. I just listened to Cersei. That was like 20 hours long or something like that. Like, I need something that length. So I'm still on the hunt. I just want you to know I'm watching Hannah, A Clockwork Readers. She has a video that's her favorite YA contemporaries. And the first one is The Astonishing Color of After, which I'm already reading for this readathon, but I couldn't get the audiobook of it, so I'm just reading the ebook of it. And I just felt like such frustration in my heart because I'm already reading that and I can't get the audiobook of it, and I've already checked. I'm in a place today, guys. I'm in a place. The second book she recommends is The Poet X. It's like people don't want me to succeed. It's honestly like people just don't want me to be successful. I'm just gonna leave the camera on and we're gonna find out together what the third book she recommends is. Also, this is not hate on Hannah. I love Hannah. Hannah was, I think, the first booktuber I ever watched, and she's like has such a special place in my heart, and I love her reading taste and I love her videos. Hannah, please. Alrighty, the third book she recommended was Down and Across, and I can get it right now as an audiobook through Libby, so am I interested in it? Sure. Is it possible I would have liked a book later in this video more? Sure. I don't care though, I need this now. So we have our second audiobook, everything's great. So when I finish Nerve, I will have another audiobook for my cross-stitching. Now I really need to get some water, do my Duolingo, and then I'm gonna hunker down, listen to Nerve, and get some cross-stitching done until I go to work. And that's what's happening. Hello, it is Tuesday, and it is about 12:49. Once again, obviously I've been up for quite a bit at this time. Sorry I didn't update you last night. I just came home and read and cross-stitched. Spent some time with my sister. Reading update, so I am 4 hours into Nerve, which means I only have 2 hours left. I'm loving it. It's the kind of book, an audiobook, where it's like things happen that literally make me go like, I'm home alone right now, so I keep talking to myself really loudly. It's also great, it's very different from the movie. Just mostly in that like the dares are different, so it gives you a very similar feeling, but I definitely like the book more. I think they could not include the dares that they're making them do in the book, in the movie, without it getting like, probably an R rating at least. There's not been anything that graphic, I just don't think they could show it on like screen and have it be like, I think the Nerve movie is PG-13. Yeah, it's PG-13. It was very good, but the book, definitely better. If you liked the movie, I recommend reading the book because it'll give you, in my opinion, a very similar but even like stronger feeling. They literally sometimes make them do things, yeah, and I twitch, I screech. I'm really liking it. And then I started reading Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree yesterday during my commute to work and my commute back from work. and I am 167 pages in. It's a fast read. It is also, I mean, it's very hard hitting, that's for sure. This could definitely count for the hard hitting challenge. And since I did kind of know a little bit about what it was about, you know when you know what's gonna happen in that you know something goes wrong, and so you're reading like the happy beginning of a book and you just kind of have to cringe because, well, not cringe, but like, I don't know, it made me feel so sad in my heart reading about them being happy when I knew that something so terrible was going to happen to them. There is one part where I almost cried yesterday on the train while reading it, but it's really, really good. The writing is just superb. There are some parts that are just so good they make me feel like sick, which is how it's supposed to make you feel. So yeah, right now I'm reading 2 books. Both of them are amazing. I predict Nerve will probably be 4 stars because I'm loving it, but I only give 5 stars to things that I feel have kind of changed me as a person, or I don't know. I can't explain what a 5-star book is to me. I don't have a checklist or anything, but I give lots of things 4 stars and then only a few things 5 stars. I feel like this honestly could be a 5-star book. It's affected me so much and it's just so like important. So I'm gonna keep listening to Nerve. I've already done a workout and gotten ready for the day and eaten breakfast. It's almost 1. So I'm leaving for work in about 3 hours today, and on the commute, I will be reading Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree again. I might be able to finish both of these books today. Although honestly, I kind of almost don't want to move on because I'm loving both of these books so much. I feel like there's no way I can like the next books as much, but we just gotta hope. So yes, if I finish this, I will, here's the thing, is that I feel like the books I have are covering enough bases. Like this one is green on the cover, diverse, hard-hitting, and a new-to-me author, so that's 4 of them. And this one's been on my list for over a year. And I will definitely read Dress Codes for Small Towns while I'm on the Megabus. I don't know if I'll read all of it, but I feel like I'll read that, and that's Beloved on BookTube. And then what's the last challenge? Hold on, I have them written down. Illustrated cover. This also counts for illustrated cover. So in all technicality, as long as I read those 3 books, then I will definitely complete the challenges. So I'm thinking that maybe I will read, once I finish this one, I'll read Scarlett Epstein Hates It Here. Even though it was supposed to be like my bonus book, it's a physical book and I don't want to take it to Ohio. So I think I'm gonna start that one probably tomorrow if I finish this one. I mean, I'll definitely finish this one tomorrow at least because I'll be going to work again. And so I'll just take both books with me if I need to. And so I think that's what I'm gonna read next. And then if I manage to finish that one in time, which I feel like it'll be a very quick read, then I will start reading The Astonishing Color of After before I go home. And when I finish Nerve, as you remember yesterday, I found a second audiobook, and that one will count for a new-to-me author as well. Yeah, that's my reading update. Life update. Work was good yesterday. I got out early. I got Girl Scout cookies. That was really good. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm not doing anything interesting. I just cross-stitch and go to work and like hang out with my sister and read. But that's just kind of how this week is, and honestly, that's the best kind of week to do a readathon, because weeks where I have so much to do means that I just completely tank my readathons. Throwback to when I literally read only one of the books from the reading rush because I tried to do it while I was in tech week for a show, and I got horribly, horribly sick. And I was still like, I can read 7 books. Who do I think I am? But I feel confident that I can read. I feel like I can definitely read all of the books I plan to, which at this point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 books. That's almost 7. I'm not gonna find another book. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going to. But I could just go to the library. No. I'm just so close to 7 now that I'm really tempted to try and pick up a 7th book, just because then I could say I read 7 and 7. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to, okay? We're on the same page here, right? I'm not gonna pick up a 7th book. I mean, unless, no, I'm not going to. No. Okay, I gotta turn this off, get back to listening to Nerve and cross-stitching. Okay, bye. I just realized I forgot to hit film on a bunch of stuff. So, that's great. Basically, I finished Nerve. There is no Nerve sequel. The ending is unsatisfactory, and I'm having emotions. I have so many emotions. God, it was so good, and I just don't like the ending, and I want a second book. Yeah, this book's definitely a 4 out of 5 because a lot of it was so good, and it made me feel things. I'm feeling things right now. I'm feeling so many things. Yeah, I might take a slight break in between this and my next audiobook just because I feel like if I go straight from this into my next one, I feel like I'll feel weird. So maybe I'll watch a YouTube video or two or something. Definitely, though, Nerve, solid 4 out of 5 stars on Nerve. I thought the audiobook was great, although I wasn't like, it didn't blow my mind, but it was quite good. I've definitely listened to audiobooks where I was like, wow, I hate this. I would say maybe even 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think that if you liked the movie, you should definitely read the book. And I think that if you want to read something, it's, how else could I describe this? Hunger Games light. That's a great way to describe this. If you want to read a book that's basically Fear Factor gone wrong, if you want to watch the great grandparents of the game makers from the Hunger Games terrorize modern day people, read Nerve. I really liked it. I really did. I still want a sequel. I would love a sequel. Honestly, watch me in like half a year freak out when Jeannie Ryan announces a sequel to Nerve. All right, yeah, so that's that one. One book down for Contemporary-a-thon though. Let's check off the backlist thing. And actually, technically, this is also a new to me author. So we could just go ahead and check off that one too. Okay, well, talk to you guys again later, I guess. Hello, welcome to day 3 of Contemporary-a-thon. It is Wednesday. It's a bit earlier in the day than I normally come to you guys. I'm still in my pajamas. I actually woke up earlier than I expected, which is good because I got some business stuff done. About to eat breakfast. I've already done a workout. I've started listening to Down and Across, the second audiobook I picked so that I would have another audiobook when I finished Nerve. It's good, it is. I like it so far. It's just kind of like difficult because it's a different style than Nerve, and I'm having a little bit of trouble with like bookish hangover, you know, where I like finished Nerve yesterday. But it's good so far and I like it a lot. It will count for a new to me author and a diverse main character. I'm almost finished with Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree. I think I have like 10 pages left or something. I'm reading the like afterward part, which is more about like the real girls. Unsurprisingly, it was a really difficult read, not in actual readability. It was quite easy to read in that, you know, in the sense of the words were easy to read, but it was very emotional, and it was a lot harder to read because it's real. It's what real girls are still going through in another part of the world, and so that's obviously a lot harder to handle, but it's really, really good, and I brought a new light to a situation that I had thought about and read about before, but novels can just make you understand things in different ways. So loving that. Finished Nerve, gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree will be probably 5 out of 5 stars. And then yeah, just started Down and Across, and then besides Down and Across, I'm also gonna start Scarlett Epstein Hates It Here today, which I'm really looking forward to because I feel like it'll just be right up my alley, and I feel like it'll be really sort of light and very easy to read, which I feel like I could just really use. I had kind of a rough day at work yesterday. Working in customer service, sometimes you get a customer who's just really difficult, and I got one of those customers. I had a man scream at me at work over literally nothing until someone called security. The good thing is that I work at a great place that has security. I've got really good managers, so he was asked to leave because, yeah, you know. But I just feel like after that and reading really like sort of heavy stuff yesterday, I just need to move on to something light. Also watching some YouTube. Chelsea just last night uploaded her first Contemporary-a-thon day vlogs. It's fun watching vlogs for a readathon that I'm also participating in because I get to be like, oh, when she was reading that, I was reading this. And it's like, I don't know, connecting. Anyway, I gotta go get my bagel. I will update you guys on my reading progress later. I don't leave for work until 3:30 today. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. What's up? I did not update you on my reading progress before I left for work because I read very little. I listened to some more of Down and Across, but I'm still only like an hour in, which means I've got like, well, a little more than an hour. So I've got like a little bit less than 6 hours left to go because it's like a 7-hour audiobook. Finished Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree on the bus to work and started Scarlet Epstein Hates It Here on the way back from work. I'm eating right now. I got home and I was really hungry, but I didn't have anything that I wanted to eat. So I'm eating, I have a meal that I go to when I really don't want to eat for dinner, which is Morningstar fake chicken strips and carrots because it's healthy, delicious, and easy to make. So it's basically the trifecta. I didn't think those through. I can't talk and eat at the same time. All right, so I've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I don't work, but I do have a lot to do. Super ambitiously, I want to finish both my audiobook and my physical book tomorrow because I don't want to take Scarlet Epstein Hates It Here with me to Ohio when I go on Friday. I was really planning to devote all my bus time to reading digital books on my phone and all my time at home to that, so I was really hoping to have my audiobooks done by then, but the physical book is a priority. But I have a lot to do, so I'm gonna make a to-do list real quick in order of things I need to get done, because honestly reading the books is kind of, it's not my last priority, but it's definitely not my first. So first thing I do when I wake up every morning, this is a fun tidbit, is I drink an entire glass of water. I always pour myself a glass of water before I go to sleep at night and leave it on my dresser, and then I wake up in the morning, and when I get out of bed, I literally chug an entire glass of water. And so that's something that I'm in the habit of doing. I don't technically need to put it on the list, but I learned that when you're making to-do lists, you have to put things that you were gonna do anyway on the list because they're things that you did, and otherwise you just won't feel accomplished. You'll be like, oh, I didn't finish everything on my to-do list, but you don't have a bunch of stuff that you already did on there. Number 2 is take out trash. Number 3 is talk to exterminator. An exterminator comes to our building once a month. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch that to being number 4 and number 4 to being do my workout, because I think that the exterminator's coming late enough that I'll work out first and hopefully get dressed now that I think about it. This already looks like a mess, but get ready, eat breakfast. I feel okay eating breakfast in front of the exterminator. I eat breakfast rather late on ideal days because when I first wake up in the morning, the idea of eating sounds terrible. I don't know if anyone else is just like nauseated by food as soon as they wake up in the morning, but I cannot do it. So I eat like an hour to 2 hours after I wake up. Okay, so, oh wait, I should almost definitely, where should I put it in my list? Okay, it's not exactly in perfect order anymore, but it's close. So after I ate breakfast, I have to do my makeup. I need to film some things for an audition. Then 9, I just have his business, which means basically applying for roles online, answering emails and messages, you know, any of that stuff I need to deal with. Then my sister, who edits my videos, not the one who lives with me, is sick right now. And so she's not able to edit a video that I really want to go up on Valentine's Day, so I'm gonna edit it myself. Which means the editing is gonna be worse than most of my other videos, but I'm okay with it because I had a lot of fun making it. I hope you guys will have a lot of fun watching it. I really wanted to go up on Valentine's Day, so I'm just gonna edit myself. And then 11, I'm actually gonna have as do my Duolingo. Once again, I'm in the habit of doing this, but you still need to write things down. And then read, and then I have after read, which hopefully I'll be able to just really binge Scarlet Epstein. I feel like I will be able to. And then after that, I plan to eat another meal probably, and while I eat that meal, I will listen to my audiobook, and then I'm gonna cross stitch, again, hopefully listening to my audiobook, and then I need to pack for my trip, again, listening to my audiobook. So I really hope that if I can just like do a proper like one sit read pretty much of Scarlet Epstein. I don't know how many pages I am in, I'll check in a second. But if I can do that, then I feel like I'll be able to listen to the rest of the audiobook throughout the rest of the day. This list does kind of hinge on me waking up somewhat almost early. Not early, but like 8 o'clock, which, I mean, obviously it's 11:37 right now. Oh no, this might fail terribly. We're just gonna have to hope that I wake up feeling so refreshed. Could all of you just hope that for me? That would just really help me out. If you guys could all just send a thought out right now thinking, wow, I really hope that Skylar wakes up just feeling so refreshed and ready to do the day. Let me check how far I am into Scarlet Epstein, and then I will sign off for tonight, and you guys will see me tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm only 31 pages in, but that's out of like 280, so 250 pages. That'd take me a few hours. That'd actually be really fun. Let's just see how long it will actually take me. Alrighty, well, good night. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye. Hey. So it's the next morning. It's Thursday. So the 4th day of Contemporary-a-thon. I think I'm at number 6 on my to-do list. I'm putting on makeup right now for filming my auditions. I know that looks really heavy. Don't worry, I'll blend it. I am not very good at doing makeup, but I can do like a few very necessary looks. This is my audition look. It will come out looking pretty natural. And then I will film the stuff I need to film, and then after that I think I have business written on there, which is good because I have some emails to respond to and stuff. Oh, there's makeup on my arm. I always get makeup everywhere when I do this. I'm just covered in powder and goop. People in the comments right now are being like, oh my god, this is not how you do makeup. You're doing it wrong. And yeah, you're probably right. You should have seen me put on my foundation earlier. I do it with my fingers. Even though I have beauty blenders, but I don't know how to use them and I'm kind of afraid of them. Reading update. I have not read any more of my physical book because you guys know my checklist, but I have been listening to my audiobook. I've got about 3.5 hours left on my audiobook. So that bodes well, I think, because I'm gonna keep listening to it as I get finished getting ready right now. Obviously I have to turn it off for when I'm actually filming, but then I'll listen to it again while I'm doing my business stuff of the day. And then I don't think I'll be able to listen to it while I edit. I know that some people can do that. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I'm a strong enough editor for that. But I think that I'll get a good amount of the way through it so that after I binge my other book today, I will finish it. Right now it's probably almost 12 o'clock. I got through a lot of my productivity stuff all at once. Then I made the mistake of sitting down, and then I opened Tumblr, which is so foolish of me. But I managed to tear myself away and keep going on my list, so I actually feel somewhat confident that I will finish everything on my list today. I also probably will not listen to my audiobook while I do Duolingo because I discovered it's rather hard to do that. Yes, I have done it many times in the past, but I usually, it keeps pausing as I have to listen to the audio clips on Duolingo. I wonder if you can even tell that I'm putting on makeup right now. I feel like maybe you can't. That's okay. I can tell. And when I'm facing the camera straight on and I do my audition, you'll be able to tell. Ooh, so rosy. So yeah, that's my reading update. I am gonna be honest, I definitely will finish this book and I like it okay, but I'm not in love with it. I just feel like it has a cast of zany characters, but I feel like none of them are really my specific type of zany. Socket, which is his real name. I can empathize with him and I kind of like him. And then Fiora, I find kind of annoying. Trent is okay, but I don't love him either. So yeah, so far Contemporary-a-thon is actually going pretty well. I haven't read anything lower than a 3-star yet. I think this might be a 3-star, unless they really if they do something that really turns it around and makes me love it. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad. It's just not for me. So yeah, I am gonna put on lip gloss that I left in my room. I'm gonna fix my hair. I have to cue up some audio tracks, and then I'm gonna film some audition stuff, and then I will update you later, hopefully once I have started reading physically for the day. Okay. Oh no. This is the first time I don't have you on a tripod. So I finally got to the point where I'm physically reading. And I just really had to tell you guys a little bit about this book because I love it so much so far. And not because it's groundbreaking and really good, but when you read something that's kind of trashy and you're like, this is exactly what I wanted. It's like why I watch Riverdale.
Oh, also I like washed my face and changed into pajamas and stuff. So, you know, I'm comfy as heck. And I packed, and I only have an hour and 20 minutes left in my audiobook or something like that. Anyway, moving on. So it's about a girl who writes fan fiction, which obviously Fangirl is one of my favorite books. But it's not like fangirl level necessarily. It's also super fun because it's one of those books where they make the teenagers talk the way no one has ever talked. Or at least extremely dated. Like, she's like, I have to wear glasses, which sucks. But at least I got some bomb pink frames from the Walmart. And I was like, well, how recently was this author a teenager? No one talks like that. But it's like, it makes it more fun. And I just really can't, first of all, the way she describes fandom culture and like writing fanfic was something that connected with me. Like, it took me back several years to being a younger teen myself. I really connected with that. Like, the feeling was definitely there. But then also, I just literally laughed for 2 minutes, like straight, because the name the name of the fake show that she's obsessed with that gets canceled is called Lycanthrope. Basically, it's Teen Wolf. It's like, basically they were like, what if we switched around some letters and and made Teen Wolf? It is the nature of life that sometimes someone accidentally recreates Teen Wolf. But I just can't get over it because I can't do it. I like it so much. Oh, you know what we should do? People in these videos always have like a time lapse of them reading at some point. Perfect. Let's do a little of this. I keep wanting to tell you guys about what's happening in the book. And if any of you guys want to read it, I don't want to spoil it for you. So I think I'm actually going to turn off the camera now so that I won't feel tempted to just tell you immediately when something happens. So I'll probably update you guys one more time before I go to bed. I'm going to charge the camera overnight and then pack it tomorrow. So yeah, that's what's happening. So I've done not that much reading since we last talked because my video finished exporting. And so now I am uploading it to YouTube. And I was scheduled to go out tomorrow tomorrow lunchtime. Does that sound good? What will people be doing then? I don't know. I haven't had a date on Valentine's Day in 2 years? I don't know. That was my only one too. So yeah, it says it has like 3 minutes left uploading. I watched it, make sure that everything looks good, and then I'm gonna keep reading. I'm a little nervous that I'm not gonna get a lot done. It's already 8 o'clock, and I need to get up early tomorrow to catch my bus. We're gonna see what happens. All right, cool. Hey guys, this is terrible lighting. Wow, okay, sorry I didn't update you last night. I was tired. I stayed up late reading and I went to bed. But I finished Scarlett Epstein Hates It Here. Yeah, I gave Scarlett Epstein a 4 out of 5 because I loved it. But I loved it, but was it perfect? No, there were some flaws in it. So there were just a few things that were like pretty problematic and I didn't like those. But I loved it and I read it so fast. It's definitely 4 out of 5 stars because I liked it. Probably won't read it again. I like to kind of judge books on whether or not I'll read them again. If we're being honest, I don't think I'll read Nerve again. I don't think I'll read Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree again, but I'll never forget it. I don't think I'll read Scarlett Epstein ever again. I also finished the audiobook for Down and Across. It was a 3 out of 5 stars. I did not connect with any of the characters. I thought some points in it were were really bad, and I felt like some of the plot was really predictable. And I'm a very character-driven person, and I don't think there were any characters that I saw and I was like, yes, awesome. I'd also like to say that, so that means I've read 4 books for Contemporary-a-thon. I also started Dress Codes for Small Town on the bus. I'd say I'm about halfway through, and I'm obsessed. Oh my god, this is if this continues the way it is going, it's a 5-star read. I just adore the writing, and I adore what it's about, and it's one of the most quotable books I've ever written. It's like every other sentence sometimes just smacks me in the face with like, oh my god, this is my person and my soul and my consciousness laid bare on the paper for me to see, and it wrote things that I just love it. I love it. I love it. I'm not done with it, so it could turn south, but I hope it won't, and I will talk more comprehensively about it in its own wrap-up. But if I finish it, then I will have completed all the challenges, and I will have read 5 books, which is pretty good. And then I'll just read The Astonishing Color of After, maybe after Contemporary-a-thon. I don't know. I'm really tired right now, but technically, I finished a book today, started another one. I'm doing great, honestly. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'm in Ohio. I had a great day with my family. I'm so tired from my day of traveling. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello, it's me. Oh no, this is a terrible angle still. Okay, hi, it's me, Skylar, and I have bad news, and that's it's the 16th, and it's 11:07 at night, and I have a fourth of a book left. And I have to get up early in the morning to go to the bus to go back to Chicago. Sorry, I can't manage to stay in frame. Anyway, but I'm really tired, and I'm gonna go to sleep without finishing this book, which is sad. But I've been doing other things with my time here. I spent a whole day with my family, and when it's all live show of Mamma Mia, and I had dinner with my dad's friends, and then went to my friend's house and had a sleepover for Galentine's Day with literally like all my best friends in the world. And then today I didn't get home until later, and I took my niece to her ice skating lesson. And then I spent a little more time with my family, and then I went and saw a movie with one of my friends. I saw Birds of Prey. I loved it. So good. So I don't regret not using that time to read. It's not like I was wasting time. It was all time very well spent. But I am sad, and I will definitely finish the book tomorrow. I'll be on a bus for 4 hours. I might even finish it before I get to the bus, because while I do have 1/4 left, it's very readable. It's still absolutely amazing. This is gonna be a book that I need to own, like a book that I envision myself rereading many more times. So yeah, that's my update. It's the 16th. Technically Contemporary-a-thon is ending, but I will still give you guys a wrap up with all of my thoughts on all of the books. Technically I won't have completed one of the challenges, so I don't know. It's a readathon. There's not really any losing a readathon. It's not like I get anything if I complete all 7, but I almost got there, and that's pretty frustrating, but I had a busy week, and the fact that I will have finished 5 books in like 7.5 days is great. It's really good. I got some stuff off my TBR, yeah, and I'm just really tired, and I have to go to sleep now. And I will talk to you guys probably after I get home to Chicago. I'm pretty sad right now. It's really hard to be home for only like 2 days, you know? I miss my parents a lot, and I get to see them again in like 2 weeks. But I also miss my older sisters, and I miss my niece, and I miss my brother, and I miss my friends. And it's just, it's a really hard thing to move far away from all the people you love. But it has to be worth it, because I can't live the life I want here. And that's a little bit heartbreaking. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. I need to look like the male character in Geek Charming. Anyway, hey guys.
It's the 17th. I am home in Chicago instead of home in Ohio. I am very tired because I stayed up late because I was like, I'm gonna finish this book, and then I didn't, which is really sad. But I'm still gonna talk about it right now when I do the wrap up because I did finish it this morning, and then I immediately started The Astonishing Color of After. I'm about like 40% through it according to the app, and it's really good so far. But I will not be talking about that because I'm not finished with that. So I have two main items of business. One is a tiny mini haul from this weekend, like itty bitty. So let's start with that. So the first thing I have is Frindle by Andrew Clements. Oh gosh, okay, good, you can see it. And this is just a book that I already owned, but I brought it back here. I tend to do that when I go home, is I just pick one of the books off my shelf and pack it to bring it home. I did not have much space this time, so I decided to just bring home a little book, and that's Frindle. And I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and I think I want to reread it. It's just this short little book about kids taking a stance and creating a new colloquialism to stick it to a teacher, basically. But I really loved this book, and I want to reread it. Let's see if it still holds up, which I'm pretty sure it will. So I got that, and this next one was a Valentine's gift from my mother. It's the Gravity Falls journal, but it's like a book about Gravity Falls and stuff. It's a hardback. My mom was already going to get my brother one because my brother and I are going to be cosplaying Mabel and Dipper. We already have our outfits and everything at a convention that we go to. That'll be at the end of March. I actually have a vlog up from that same convention from a few years ago, so maybe I'll try and vlog again this time, but it's gonna be super, super fun, and they were half off when she was getting my brother one, so she offered to get me one. I'm really, really excited to read this. It's like, I love Gravity Falls so much, and I can't wait to read this, and also, it's this beautiful hardback edition, but I'm going to take off the dust jacket, which I do with most of my books. I don't know if I have a good example, like Fangirl. I just prefer the way that books look without their dust jackets most of the time. I guess it just depends on the book, really. And I didn't hate the dust jacket for this book. I just prefer the look of it without it. So naturally, I was thinking, oh, I should take this one off. And when you take off the dust jacket, first of all, it's pretty much completely the same, except for it has these really awesome, like you guys obviously can't feel this, and I wish you could, but I'm going to try and describe to you. These parts that look like it's ripped and torn, they have a different texture than these ones, the ones like here. And like, even like this part is glossier than the red part. And I just really love that. And I also like that it does, like when I take the dust jacket off, it doesn't say like Gravity Falls on it anymore and stuff. Not that I don't want that, but like this just looks way more realistic, you know, for the cosplay and everything. But then also the dust jacket on the inside is like a blueprint poster, which is another thing, which means I get to put it up on my poster wall, which I'm so excited about. I think every dust jacket should be like this from now on. Like, if I know there's no one who works in publishing or dust jacket design watching this, but if there were someone, please just consider making all books dust jackets posters. So yeah, that's my mini haul. See, just 2 books, like I said, extremely mini. I'm hyped for it though. I'm very excited to reread both of these books. I'll probably read Frindle as soon as I finish The Astonishing Color of After. Maybe not, we'll see, I don't know. But let's talk about what I read this week. I ended up reading 5 books, different from my TBR, just a little. So, I'm just gonna bring open, I take notes on all the books I read and then I transfer them to a document on my laptop that's just like my book journal. But let's just go through the wrap up basically of all the books. This will be spoiler filled. I am not holding anything back, just so you know. Okay, so the first book I finished this week was Nerve by Jeannie Ryan. I listened to the audiobook. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, I believe. I really enjoyed it, but I would really love a sequel. I thought most of it was way better than the movie. The movie and the book are like same premise, but AUs of it basically. Like, that's the best way for me to describe it. And I really enjoyed listening to it and reading the book for, I'd say like 80% of it, more than I enjoyed the movie, but then I felt like the climax, like it was a little anticlimactic. I thought it could have been bigger, and I think they went bigger for the movie climax, and I really liked that. So that's what I would say. Do I have anything else interesting in my book notes just to tell you? Oh, if you cringe easily, this is not the book for you. I do cringe easily, but I can fight my way through it. But if you cringe, some of these books are not for you, because this book several times was really, oh yeah, there's some queer characters in this book. One of them is really mean, and the other one is like kind of nice, but they're there, and so I appreciate that. I ended up really liking Ian. I think that Ian should have been played by the guy who plays back in Victorious. Like the first time they described him, I was like, the perfect person to play this would be back from Victorious. I will say I did like Matthew in the beginning, and then, here's the thing, I thought, once again, spoilers. So she has all these bits where she's like, where are they getting all this information about me? And I was like, they're hacking you, girl. They have an app on your phone, you idiot. Like, obviously, they're just looking you up. But then she was like, someone on the inside of my life is telling them things. And I kept being like, no, you're dumb. And then there was a reveal that it was someone, but it was Matthew. And he was getting like watch her rewards for it. And that was genius. Oh my God. That was like best, like top 10 anime deaths of all time. Such a good betrayal. I will say though that then the epilogue, they I'm saying like so many times. It's because I can't collect my thoughts. Okay, her and Matthew, obviously in a huge fight because he betrayed her to Nerve, and then we go to the epilogue, and first of all, it kind of like wrapped up things with the prologue a little bit, but I was still confused, and it still made me, like, I still don't know what happened to the girl, whether or not that guy shot her from the prologue. Very frustrating. But also then she was like, Matthew and I have smoothed things out. It took a little time, but we're better now. And I'm like, I wanted to see that. I needed you to tell me that. And then also, it really laid the groundwork, I felt like, for a sequel, where they were like, the game's never gonna stop, blah, blah, blah. But then we didn't get to see that, and I would like to see that. So, enjoyed it, a whole darn bunch, 4 out of 5 stars. I did not read anything under 3 stars this experience, which I thought was amazing. So the next book I finished was Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree. This was a 5 out of 5 stars. Not necessarily because I was reading it and I was like, oh my God, I love it. This is one of my favorite books of all time, but because it's so good and so important that I was like, there's nothing that should be changed about this. This book is told perfectly to hit you hard. And do I ever want to read it again and like feel that pain? Not really, but it was amazing. And I think that if you are interested in reading books that will put you, I assume if you're watching this, then you have not been through what the girls in this book went through. And if you want to fully comprehend what that was like for them, which obviously that might be too heavy for some people, and that's okay. But I want to understand. I want to be able to be as sympathetic and empathetic and know how to help as much as I can. And while this isn't educational on like necessarily how to help them, because I'm not from Nigeria, it's like I'm not from the UN, it's not my business all the time what happens in other countries. It's important to me as a citizen of the world to know what is happening. And this honestly did that better than I think any just normal news story could do, or any translated article or interview, because that's like a little snippet and it's hard to help people understand something as difficult as this, whereas this literally puts you in the shoes. I don't even think you know the main character's real name throughout the whole time because it's first person, and it hurt me in some ways. If you're gonna read this, you have to read the afterword where they talk about getting to talk to the real girls and how long they spent researching this book and the real world impacts. It's incredibly important. Make sure you read the afterword. Some of the things, so just to say it again, this is about girls who are captured in Nigeria by the Boko Haram, which are sort of a terrorist group, really, that they believe that they are making the world better by taking out anyone who is not devoted to Islam, but not actually following Islam. It's very similar to ISIS in that they claim that they are doing this all for this religion, but people who are actually from that religion would say that the needless violence and the kidnapping and raping of girls and just the absolute terror they spread is not for their religion. And so in this book, so the first good while, I'd say maybe the first over 100 pages is just her life. She wants to go to school, she wants to go to this special school, so she took this test. I mean, everyone got to take it, but she's really, really hoping to get this scholarship. And no one from her village has ever gotten it before, and she really wants it because she wants to be a teacher one day and have a full life. And she loves her family, and she has a best friend whose name is Sarah, and she loves going to school. And it's hard because you know what's coming. And then it happens, and she gets abducted. All of the girls and young men in her village do, which means that her father, and she was from a family with a lot of brothers, so they only took her youngest brother, Jacob. So I believe 4 of her brothers and her father were all killed. Her mother was out of town at a wedding. She doesn't see Jacob again. Her and Sarah are sort of forced to convert, and they are slaves for a while, and then they are married off to these men. And the really hard part is that she slowly watches Sarah really being brainwashed. She's forced to take a different name, and her best friend is no longer the person that she thinks of her as. And there's some sickening passages where they describe things to you the way that the people describe them to you, and you know what it really is. So, for instance, they have this bit where the women are introduced to what's called a special vest, and you'll be sent on a mission wearing the vest one day if you're lucky, and as soon as you pull the string, you'll see paradise, and you know that they are sending these women in with bombs strapped to them. And Sarah, who is now referred to as Zainab, that's another part of the book that was such good writing and so painful, is that Zainab is her new name, and our protagonist gets in trouble for calling her a different name, and then she stops calling her Sarah even in her writing, which hurt me badly. And she watches Zainab go on the first mission wearing the special vest, and she knows what happens. She knows that her best friend's not coming back. She sees a video that has Jacob in it, and he's being raised to be one of these terrible soldiers just like the rest of them at the age of like 6, and that's heartbreaking. And then finally, luckily, they get rescued, some of them. They manage to be rescued, and the last little bit is one of hope, which is good. But it was just a lot to read, and so I think, like, if you're not in a place where you can read this book, that's okay. This had me like pretty much crying on the train, but it was amazing. 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I finished Scarlet Epstein Hates It Here before I finished my next book. So this is the next one. This was a 4 out of 5 stars. This is not a 4 out of 5 stars because it was amazing. It's a 4 out of 5 stars because I loved it and I couldn't put it down, and I read the first 50 pages like over time, and then the next 230 pages just all in one sitting the night before I traveled to go home. It's about a girl who writes fan fiction for Lycanthrope High, or Lycanthrope High. I always say it wrong, but it's just Teen Wolf Girl. The show ends, but yeah, I loved it. I loved it. There were definitely some problematic parts. Part of it being, if you're in fandom, you may recognize some of these problems that I'm going to talk about. So she's sort of in, like, her closest friends on the internet are also big writers, and there's one who we are led to believe is a gay man for most of it, who's an adult. They call him Loop. And first of all, Loop kind of rags on them when they start writing. So they start writing next gen stuff, but she just makes it about the people in her real life, which, not great. Not great. But it's a self-insert, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with writing a self-insert, in my opinion. I don't think you should write about the other real people in your life, especially in a negative fashion. If you're going to publish it online, please don't do that. Someone can and might find it. But just a normal self-insert where you want to see yourself reflected in the character that you're writing, I think that's totally fine. But we're led to believe that that's a terrible thing for people to do, especially girls. Young girls are very discouraged from writing what are called Mary Sues, and there's this whole thing called like the Mary Sue test. And so it's basically discouraging girls from writing characters that are too perfect, aka they have skills or are competent in their fields or blah 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 blah. Never mind that we have like a million books and movies about men who are told they're the chosen one and then manage to master an entire like world's worth of fighting in 1 week from a master who has been studying it for sometimes hundreds of years, and then they have to defeat the great evil, and they're the only one because they're the chosen one, even though there's this great master who's been doing that thing for hundreds of years. So why can't they defeat the great master? But they can't because the other guy's the chosen one. But those guys aren't labeled as Mary Sues or Gary Sues. Those are just normal, realistic male characters. I'm gonna get so much hate on this video. But basically they tell her like, that's a Mary Sue, and they had some commentary about how like any OFC, which means original female character, can get annoying. They didn't say anything about OMCs, which are original male characters, which could be just as annoying. But no, OFCs, you have to be very careful writing, because if they're too good at anything, then that's a Mary Sue, and that's terrible writing. Which, hated that. And then, so I told you that we believed that Luke was a gay man because he's obsessed with gay pairings. He only ever ships gay pairings. He fights for gay pairings. He hates straight pairings. Eventually, she meets Luke in real life and discovers that he's not a gay man, but a straight woman. I'm not saying it's someone who identifies as a man. I'm saying it's someone who identifies as a woman and was born a woman and is straight, like a cis-het girl. And she just ships gay pairings, which there's nothing wrong with that inherently, but there is kind of a big problem in fandom culture with cis-het women fetishizing gay people, gay men, gay pairings to the point where they disrespect real-life gay people, and most of them still hate lesbians and are still very homophobic in their own way, but they believe that they're not because they ship certain gay pairings. And while it wasn't exactly how she came across, she was my least favorite character. Luke, worst character. And then the other major problem I had with this, so there's this really mean girl who's been bullying our main character for like 8 years or whatever. And just a few years ago, this girl's younger sister and Scarlett, so Ave and Scarlett, became best friends. But that was like literally Ashley's been bullying Scarlett since before that happened. And then we have this big reveal where Ashley's like, but you were mean to me in your fan fiction. And Scarlett's like, I know, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, but I didn't intend for you to read it. And Ashley's like, not just that though, you've been mean to me forever, for years. Everyone likes you more than me. My parents like you more than me. My sister likes you more than me. And I was kind of like, buddy, like, just because other people like her more than you is not a reason for you to constantly be verbally bullying her. And I mean like every scene she makes fun of her for everything. And from even before when her sister was. And then, worse though, the main character feels bad about it and is like, oh my god, I'm the bully. I'm the reason she treats me poorly. That's not how that works at all. Oh my god, hated that. That was the worst. If we had actually had some sort of like Scarlett was actually mean to her in the past thing, then I would have understood a little bit more. But also, someone else being mean to you is not a reason to try and destroy their whole life and also have your friends destroy their whole life. So that was pretty gross. The main ship was fine. It was okay. It was fine. It was fine. Honestly, this book should not have been a 4 out of 5. It should have been a 3 out of 5. But I really liked it. Like, I don't know if it was just super readable to me or something, but I just loved it. And you know what? I've decided that that's okay. Sky may read a little bit of trash as a treat. So the next book I read another audiobook called Down and Across by Arvin Amati. It was a 3 out of 5 because it was fine. I thought it was a little predictable, and I did not really like any of the characters. There wasn't any character that I was like, yes, 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 you know? So, I don't have much to say about it, honestly. It was a 3 out of 5, but whatever. All right, and then the most recent book I finished it just this morning, so it doesn't really count for this readathon, but it's going up there anyway, is Dress Codes for Small Towns. This one is a screaming, blaring 5 out of 5. This feels like it was written personally for me. I read it and I thought like it was like there were pieces of my heart on the page. It was just beautiful and amazing. I have to own it. I need to. Books and Lala was right. She was right. She tried to tell us, and I finally listened and I read it, and it's perfect. Like, it's perfect. I would not change a single thing about this book. I don't even want to tell you what it's about. I don't even want to spoil it for you because I want you to read it for yourself. I'm sorry, I also know I did not give any spoilers for Down and Across, but I just didn't care enough about it to give spoilers. I think I told you a description of it earlier in the video, so if that sounded interesting to you, go ahead, read it. If you really like people talking about crossword puzzles, this is a great book for you. Back to Dress Codes for Small Towns. If you're from a small town, if you don't like conventional beauty and gender standards, if you like queer characters, if you like good friend groups, like the best friend groups you'll ever read, if you like good ships that you get to choose, if you like really good endings that let you make decisions for yourself but aren't so open-ended that you feel unsatisfied, then this book is for you. If you like cosplay, this book is for you. If you like multiple perspectives but not too much multiple perspectives, this book is for you. I just want everyone to read this, but I also kind of like, here's the thing, I think a lot of people will read it and be like, that was pretty good. If you read this book and felt personally, spiritually connected to it in like a very strong way, please leave me a comment because I need people to talk to about this, and I don't even feel like I should tell like people in my real life to read it because I can't handle someone being like, yeah, it was pretty good, I guess we could talk about it. I can't handle that. I can't do it. It was so good that I need someone else who really, really, really loved it to talk to me about it. Please, I'm begging you. I also think there might be a sequel. Either if there's not a sequel, then there's definitely just another book by the author, and I will be finding it and reading it. I will probably read, I almost said her entire discography. I will be reading all of Courtney C. Stevens' entire discography. That's what I'm gonna do. I have to read everything she's ever written because this book was so amazing. It's immediately one of my favorite books, like, ever. And I was prepared to not feel that way. I was really prepared to be like, oh, Books and Lala is so great, I'm glad that other people really liked it and that she liked it, but it was just okay. But that's not what happened. I love it. I love it. And I'm ecstatic about it. So yeah, finishing up for this readathon, I read 5 books in 7 plus like 8 hours days, something like that. 7 plus 10 hours. I had 1 3-star, I had 2 4-stars, I had 2 5-stars. Contemporary-a-thon, as far as I'm concerned, went great. If you count the last book, I finished all of the challenges, just going over it. Green on the cover, you could pick either of these. Diverse main character, you can pick this, or you can pick Down and Across, something that's been on my backlist for a long time. You can pick Nerve, Beloved by BookTube, you can pick Dress Codes for Small Towns, Illustrated cover, you can pick this, you can pick Dress Codes for Small Towns, you can pick Down and Across. What are the other challenges? Hard hitting, you can pick this for sure for hard hitting. This was like, ooh. Oh, new to me author, you can pick this, you can pick this, you can pick Down and Across, you can pick Dress Codes for Small Town. I think any of the books. I don't think I've read any author I've read from before. So that's cool. So yeah, that's all of it. Thank you for watching this vlog. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Hopefully my editor will polish it up and make it shine, because I feel like it's a little hectic. Not in like a fun way, like just truly hectic. So yeah, I'm extremely tired now. I spent most of my day traveling, so I'm going to send this footage out and then I'm gonna lie in my bed and catch up on all the YouTube videos I missed this weekend. Maybe read some more of Astonishing Color of After, I'm not sure. My goal is to recover today, like, so that tomorrow I can be really productive, so I'm not going to do anything productive after this point today. I will not be doing anything. I will be lying in my bed with my bed warmer on And I guess I'll probably eat food. So that is that. This is my first I'm gonna count it. Should I count it as a successful readathon? You know what? I'll say it's my first almost successful readathon. Thank you so much for watching. Do I have anything else to say? If you participated in this, please feel free to come tell me what you read and how it went. I'd love to know how it went. I'd be delighted. I want to make friends. And last things last, of course, I'm sorry about all the loud trucks on my road. I'm sure at some points during this video you just couldn't hear me at all, and I very much apologize for that. Until next time, happy reading!